and we'll dive in here. And if you've ever seen me speak, this is where I start almost every presentation, which is the most dangerous words in college planning. If you get in, we'll figure it out. Hope is not a strategy. And so when we look at these, everybody has best hopes. We want to get to college, get a great education, no debt. There's all these big goals, but the reality sets in. The commonality with the schools on this board is they're all in the race to 100, that there'll be $100,000 for 1 year of undergraduate education very soon. And all of these schools do not offer merit-based scholarships. Awesome schools, but if you're a higher income family, you will likely pay full price. Nothing against you. It's just the reality of how they run their business. And we'll dig into that a little bit more. But really for us, it's create a list that is a great, a lot of times we talk about an admissions safety school. We think you also need a financial safety and understand what those parameters are so that you don't get in over your head with education. So, Alice, I don't know if you had a comment on this kind of slide. I know we teed it
Yeah,
up.
I think Joe hit the nail on the head. I mean, we really don't ever want to hear this from any family, whether it be a married family, a really financially stable family, because you just never know. But especially when you are dealing with this divorce family dynamic, there's just so much that goes into that. And if the communication isn't solid, we just really encourage folks, like Joe said, to not to remove this from your vernacular, that if we get in, we'll figure it out, because you wouldn't do this for a car. You wouldn't do this for a house. You wouldn't go into it and say, oh, well, I really want that Lamborghini. It's $300,000. We'll figure it out. If I can get my hands on the red one, we'll figure it out. So approach this with just a really responsible mindset, and know that, in this situation, you're probably going to have to be dealing with someone else who might have a very different mindset about, if you get in, we'll figure it out as well.
Great point. Great point. Yeah, it's a lot to get into, and we don't want the college dream to become the college nightmare. So, some of our more extended talks on this get into the different steps, but really it's looking at what's it going to cost us out of pocket, what's our budget, and we'll talk about how to combine the budgets, getting clarity on this is what we have for college, and then that's the only way you can know what your gap might be, not on a 1 year basis, but on a 4 year basis, and really looking out. What I think is missing in the process is if you go here, someone's going to take out 120,000 in loans, and someone's going to have over a $1,300 a month payment, and then your take home pay is sitting over here. So it's really just, kind of that a crystal ball to like, this is not a great outcome because making that payment is going to be pretty tough. And then the other reality from a financial literacy standpoint is if you look at these total repayment numbers, the only solutions being offered are stretch your payments out for 25 years, be in debt until you're 50, and pay us, 3, 4 times as much interest over that time. So the federal government and Wall Street are happy to do that for you. They got plenty of runway. So again, this is what we're going to try and avoid, and have full transparency and look at schools on a side-by-side basis to get you there. And then we're going to layer in the fact that we have a blended family dynamic as well to make that even more complicated. If you haven't heard, college is expensive. We do have, I mentioned the race to 100. And then we also have, our privates running, 85,000 plus. Our other kind of the elites running that 85 to 100. And then we got a big group of schools in that 55 to $75,000 range sticker price. And then our affordable in-state education, and for most of our marquee institutions, is around 30,000. And then out of state, basically you can see here, there's a fascination with crossing a border and tripling your tuition. So it's a very similar education in many cases, but is it really worth the premium? And in some cases, the answer is yes. In some cases, they're recruiting you and they'll pay you to come, because we know that the sticker price of college is irrelevant. You just need to understand what your unique factors are here. And free money in the form of scholarships and grants pay for about a third of college. And then when we look at those higher sticker price schools, 56.3% is how much they're discounting their tuition. So well over 50% on that, and those big tuition numbers. So just keep that in mind. Sticker price is irrelevant. It's all about what will you pay to go to these different institutions.